everyone, it's Teresa and I have a fun video for you. We're gonna jump right into it. So we are starting off with one of this Bless This Kitchen signs from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to tape it off and paint the inside with the Waverly chalk paint and ink. And then I'm just going to take my painter's tape off. I've got the painter's tape listed for you down in my description box that's over on Amazon. You can pick it up if you want to. This one works really nicely, as you can see, all of those nice clean lines. And then we are going to, of course, do a quick little coating of the surface wax from Chalk Couture. Sorry, my camera's a little shaky. And we're going to use the same transfer. We're going to use this transfer on all of our projects today. I am just taking some bright white paste, going over some of the wording. I am going to use this one with a little less of the transfer. Like, I'm not using the whole thing. I'll show you another one in a few minutes where I do use the whole thing. But I wanted, obviously, I love, and it's so cute, right? I love that font. It's a very fun kind of thing. I do a quick drying with my heat gun just because I am going to put down that transfer again, and I'm going to use this backing. It's actually from a Cricut decal, and it kind of works perfect because I didn't want to, have the, there's obviously, it might be a little bit of paste left up in that I love part. So I'm just going to use that to kind of keep my stuff safe. And I'll put the transfer back down and I'm going to do my pumpkin. At first, I was actually just going to do the pumpkin and it didn't work out that way. So here I am using the color Shimmer Copper. It's like just the most perfect color for fall, I tell you what. And like I said, I was originally just going to do the pumpkin. It didn't work out that way. So I just ended up doing the whole thing. And of course, I needed to use the other part of the transfer where it says anything. It fit like just perfectly. It's like it was meant to be. So I'll do that again using my little multi-tool. I'll have all of these tools listed below. I'm going to have like a link tree with all of my Chalk Couture stuff in it. So it's a little easier for you to navigate because I can add a picture, which is so helpful. And here it is, all finished up. I hope that you love it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that first project. It's probably my favorite one. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what today's video is all about. It is all Chalk Couture, and I got together with a few of my friends that are also doing Chalk Couture products, and we are all using this one transfer. Obviously, you can tell I have shown it a little bit of love, and I just wanted to let you know I am selling, of course, Chalk Couture. If it's anything you're interested in, I've got a link tree down below with all kinds of links and pictures, and it's going to just kind of help find things. If you're interested in joining, there's a link for that too. And I wanted to let you know, until the end of August, they have a really cool Try Me kit. You get this box frame, which is two-sided. You know I love my two-sided stuff. You get this pumpkin anything transfer, a mini squeegee, and two of these packets. I don't have the other color in the little one, but you get the black velvet and the shimmer copper. They're so nice for fall. Check that out. You end up getting it all for just over $20. It's a pretty good deal. They're going to switch them out for next month. So September 1st, they're going to have a different Try Me kit available. And I am going to start a new thing. I will share more about that with you guys in about a week or so from when this video goes live, where I'm going to have a project that I'm going to make, Chalk Couture stuff, and I'm going to share with you what stuff you need to buy to make it. You could do it as a group and have a fun little night, at your house. And that is going to be an exclusive video for you, meaning there will be no ads, meaning you don't have to watch any of that YouTube extra stuff. It's just going to be us making projects together, kind of like I was there, even though you're, all the way on the other side of the world, potentially, or down the road, who knows. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into the video, or we're going to go ahead and jump back into the DIYs, and I'll see you guys a little later. I hope you enjoy. Bye. So back into it, and we are going to do one of these little chalkboards. This is actually from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use this base. This base is from Chalk Couture. You could use just about anything though. I'm going to do a quick little job here of the surface wax, giving it a little coating. That's a good thing to do with Chalk Couture stuff, especially if you're using like the non-Chalk Couture projects like surfaces or especially if you're using wood. That's something I would definitely recommend. And this stuff, a little goes a long way, and you just really have to like buff it in. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to give it a little different of a look. It's going to be kind of make it like a little bit like a slate looking piece. I don't know. You guys have to tell me in the comments below, do you think it looks like a piece of slate or just a chalkboard that got white paint all over it? But I'm using that same bright white paste as we did on the first project. And we're just going to kind of messily, do a dry brushing. I just use barely any of the paste and wet it down a little bit just so it'll go on a little easier. It just, like I said, it was just kind of the way I was feeling today, a little scattered all over the place. And you could also use this more like a paint if you wanted to, where you actually just do a coating of it on something, and you can do that for any of them, any of the pastes. And you can use it to stain wood too. I haven't done it yet. It's on my list of things to do, where I'm going to use it to actually stain a piece of wood because it's food grade safe. And I wanted to do it for something like some kind of like cutting board. You'll see it eventually. I haven't done it yet. And here we go with our pumpkin I love you more than pumpkin anything transfer. And right now what I'm doing is I'm fuzzing it. You definitely need to do this a few times on like the first time you're using it. This project I did do first, so I am using it for the first time. And we are just going to do some of the blue. This is Colonial Blue. It's a really pretty like muted tone, a little bit muted. I guess you could probably say it could get way more muted, but it's really close in color, in my opinion, to Nantucket Blue once you see it like in person. You know what I mean? Like, obviously sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what things look like on film. But you use just a tiniest little bit of the paste, and then you scrape off whatever extra you have left over and put it back in the jar. Waste not. I tell you what, that is one thing I love about it, is you just really don't need to use that much. And you just put it right back into that jar. And don't mind my head, I was all into this project. One thing I'll say too is if you get any of like the little packets, you're going to end up having, a lot more paste than you think. What I just did there is I pulled it up because I didn't want it to dry too much, since I'm adding a lot more detail in all of these little spots on this transfer. What you do is you just peel it up just to the point, that you're done. So that way you have, the ability to make sure that it doesn't dry out too much. And you've got my curly head right there. And I end up using the shimmer copper on that little banner, and then I'm going to go ahead and use it on the pumpkin as well. It's a perfect like shimmery copper color, which is probably, good that that's its name. And then I'm going to do more of the wording again in that Colonial Blue with my little mini squeegee. And we are just going to finish that up. Like I said, you take off all the extra off of there. And have a napkin, like have a little paper towel or something like nearby when you're doing this, because no fail, you will get it on your fingers. You guys will have to let me know if you are a messy crafter. I am most definitely a messy crafter. During the process, after the process, my room, like I'll clean it a couple of times a week, and somehow it's just my messiness just ends up getting everything everywhere, either on the desk or just getting stuff out ready, prepped to, to do my craft. It's just unavoidable. I've just come to the conclusion this room will never be clean. And the peel, and here it is. And I put it in that little base, and it's just perfect. It's a little hard to see, but I still like it. Last project, we have one of these gorgeous little pumpkin cutouts from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to do a full coat of the Waverly chalk paint in pumpkin. Imagine that. And we've got some antique wax. Now, you could not see one of my videos without seeing some kind of wax in it at some point. Either antique wax or white wax, or maybe even clear wax somewhere. So I am just going to brush it in kind of like a circular motion a little bit, just trying to give that pumpkin a little bit of dimension, to make sure you know it's a pumpkin and you don't think it might be an apple, because this is a pumpkin. And I decided I wanted to try a little bit with the paste. I've got just a tiny little bit of that eucalyptus paste. I used that on the last project too and forgot to tell you the name. And I'm actually taking the little bit of dry bits that were around the edges. I'll add some water, and then I am just going to do the same thing. I wanted to kind of bring in that color from the other project and also use it to give my pumpkin, again, a little more definition. And then I'll take that little bit of the antique wax to do the stem, and I end up needing a little bit more. Like I said, I have to use the antique wax in a project. I'm going to line up my transfer, and on this one, I am just going to do the love and the pumpkin. And if you saw it, I had a little hand, you know, come into the picture. That was my daughter. And this time around, see, there she is. The little hands there. Tell her to, you know, get her hand out of my camera. She does it on purpose. It's the thing, is she does it on purpose. So I do add a little bit of painter's tape this time, because even though, you know, the last time it worked out just fine, where I added in the leaves and stuff on the sides, like the little flourishes and everything, I didn't want the other stuff in this one. So I, of course, peel it back using, that was the Colonial Blue, same color as the last time. And now I'm going to kind of do that same thing where I'm going to just dry it off a little bit with the heat gun and add some of that like backing that I use on my Cricut, so I don't end up pulling anything up. If you're gonna do like layers of chalk, you know, transfers on top of each other, you just have to add a little bit of that wax, which was an option too if you want to layer it. And I just add, of course, the Colonial Blue pumpkin. Why not? And I'm going to use a bit of this beaded garland from the Dollar Tree. I snatched this stuff up as soon as it went on sale on their site, so I have a whole case. And do me a favor, leave a pumpkin emoji below showing that you're still here, and I will do a little gift of 2 of these beaded garlands. I'll do 2 because, you know, 4 feet might just not be enough. So like I said, leave that emoji down below and I'll let you guys know the winner. But that is going to be all of our projects today. I hope that you enjoyed them. If you are interested in any kind of Chalk Couture stuff and you have questions, need help picking stuff out, I am apparently very good at picking things out because I've done it a lot. They're in my craft room and I've been loving them. So make sure you are subscribed if you have not, and go check out the playlist with everyone else's creations today. And I will see you next time.